beauties, welcome back to part 2 of my eyeshadow palette decluttering. I am doing these videos kind of in a row, so that's why I'm wearing the same outfit, just to get the intros out of the way so I can go ahead and proceed with the decluttering. I actually have so many different palettes that I thought I would be getting rid of that is so hard for me to get rid of, but we'll see how far we get with today's decluttering. And so if you guys didn't watch my part 1, I'll go ahead and link that down below. And so hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's get to it. Hello my beauties, welcome back to part 2 of my eyeshadow palette declutter. This is, I don't know if you guys watched my part 1, but if you did, this is my maybe pile. And these are the palettes that I decluttered in part 1. And so hopefully we can get a couple more palettes out of my collection. I try to do these declutterings pretty often. This time in this video, I am going to start with palettes that are some of my favorites that I'm definitely going to keep. Well, I guess I did the same thing last video too, but I'm talking about the Natasha Denona palettes. I absolutely adore her shadows. You guys know I'm a huge fan, so I'm definitely keeping this whole stack of palettes. This is the Natasha Denona Lila palette, which is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. This is the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, which is also amazing and beautiful. It was actually one of my favorite palettes of 2017. This is my favorite Natasha Denona palette, period, and overall. I love the packaging, I love the shadow quality, I love the pigmentation. As you guys can see, it has been used the most out of all the Natasha Denona palettes I own, just because I feel like this is more of like an everyday type of look and a palette, and I absolutely love the shades that are in here, and so I absolutely adore this palette for sure. And then this is my probably second favorite Natasha Denona palette. I don't know, because even though it doesn't have like any neutral colors for like transition shades or a lot of like neutral mattes, I just love the pigmentation and how different and how awesome like all the metallics are in here, and the colors are spectacular. Like I said last video, I'm not going to swatch, but these are so amazing. I really wanted to swatch a couple for you guys because, I don't know, I just love the quality of these shadows. Like look at that, like amazing pigmentation. Moving on, we're going to go over all the eyeshadow palettes that I have for different collabs with YouTubers or beauty gurus. So the first one is from Graveyard Girl. I am definitely not giving this one away. And this is what the inside of this palette looks like. I feel like it's such like a bunny palette. I feel like this is more of like a collector's item for me than one that I would actually like use on a day-to-day basis, just because I don't really even use, you know, like shimmering blushes or bronzers, but I just really like the quality of the shadows are pretty nice, and I just really like the fact that, you know, this is something that one of my favorite YouTubers came out with, and for me to actually have it is wonderful. Now this next palette is with the collab of Too Faced and Nikki Tutorials. This is what it looks like. I've gotten a little bit of use out of this palette. I feel like this is another like more of a collector's palette for me. The makeup tutorials that Nikki actually does are phenomenal, and so I just wanted to support her, and this is one of the palettes that she came out with, and so I am going to go ahead and keep this one. And same thing goes for Morphe and Kathleen Lights. I adore Kathleen Lights. Like, she is one of my definite favorite YouTubers, and I adore this palette. This is actually probably, this one and the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette are the two palettes with the different like YouTubers collabs that I've actually gotten a lot of looks out of and a lot of use out of. So this one is definitely staying because I feel like it has amazing quality shadows, but it has a really nice variety too. It has more neutrals, it has more warm like shades, it has a couple pops of color, and I just really adore this palette overall. Carly Bible, this is another collab palette. I've actually used this one quite a bit. I don't know if you guys can see like the indent in this one, especially because this one was one of my favorite like highlights for a long time. Really beautiful, really affordable palette. Well, most of these collabs are, but this is one I am going to be decluttering just because I don't use it anymore, and I feel like maybe one of my girlfriends could use some of these like shimmers for the summer or the spring, and so I am going to be decluttering this one for sure. Now this one is a collaboration palette, Pretty Fun and Fearless, with Ciata London and Chloe Morello. I actually used to follow her quite a bit, and I really like the selection of shades that she put in this palette. My only concern is that they are not the best quality in my opinion. I feel like some of these are really kind of hard to blend and aren't as pigmented as I would want them to be. Some come off a little bit chalky, and I do adore the packaging. Don't get me wrong, the packaging is just absolutely phenomenal. So I feel like I've been holding on to this palette just because of the packaging. But I think I might go ahead and declutter. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the maybe pile, and then we'll decide at the end of the video. And then this is definitely one of my favorite palettes of 2017. It was included in my favorites video. And I just love the selection of colors. I love the affordability of this palette, the color scheme, and just everything about this palette is absolutely great, and I would definitely recommend it if you guys were looking for a more affordable palette to like experiment with. I do really like it, so it's definitely one of my favorites, and it's definitely staying with me. This little Theory Visyart palette is one of my favorite little Theory palettes by Visyart, or any kind of favorite palette of Visyart period. It has some of really nice, really pigmented, really great quality shadows. So this one is one of my favorites from them, and so is this one right here that actually came out last year, the Golden Hour. I absolutely love this palette. It has a great selection of variety, and these two palettes together are just perfect, and I absolutely love, so I'm definitely keeping those. This is... oh my goodness, this is one of my used palettes, most used palettes for sure. It's the Tartelette in Bloom. It's one of my holy grail palettes. I feel like this is like a must of a neutral palette. I just absolutely love everything about it. I love the mattes, I love the shimmers. I can create an everyday type of look with this palette over and over and over again and not get bored. This is one of the palettes that I use for work and when I get ready in the morning, and I absolutely just adore it. So this one is for sure staying. It's one of my favorite palettes, just like the Lorac Unzipped Rose Gold. This is another one of my like absolute holy grail favorites. Now, this is a definite new addition to my collection, so I'm going to keep it just because I haven't played around with it enough. Maybe I shouldn't say I haven't played around with it enough, but I haven't gotten a lot of use out of it yet. I adore all the shadows. I've created a lot of looks with it, actually. I just haven't had it for long enough for me to get bored of it. I really do think the color like coordination is really interesting, really unique, and I really like the fact that every shade has a different purpose in this palette, and the packaging is super cute, and so I am going to keep this one for a little while longer. Moving on, these are actually not even palettes. These are just ColourPop like shadow holders, because I depotted the shadows that came in with these, so I'm going to give these away for sure, or just declutter them because I don't really use them. So those are going in my declutter pile. Next few palettes, well, let's see. This one, I feel like it has great different drugstore glitters and shimmers in here. Do I use it? No, not really. Do I like the colors and the quality? Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the maybe pile. Alright, I moved a couple palettes closer. This next one from Makeup Revolution, there's a hair on this, but I absolutely love this palette. This is one of my favorite like Makeup Revolution palettes. This is one of my favorite drugstore palettes. I've had this for a while. I don't want to give it away because I feel like it is such a nice palette. I just love the quality, love the looks I come up with this, and it's super affordable, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one. Next, these are actually 2 Makeup Geek palettes. I don't know why I keep buying and purchasing these when I don't even use them. I have like bigger Z palettes that I use, so these, I don't know, I think I might keep one and declutter the other one. So there we go. Now, this is another one of my favorite palettes by Tarte. It's the Maneater palette. I adore the quality of these shadows. I absolutely love this palette. This is actually one of those palettes that I travel with and I absolutely adore. I really like this, so it's definitely staying. Next palette, this is from Pacifica. I got this on sale, I think when I was like at TJ Maxx or something, for a pretty discounted price. But I don't really use it, even though it is super cute and the shadows are so tiny and cute packaging. But I am going to be decluttering this one. Next, this is a Makeup Revolution palette. Also, this is an all matte palette. I haven't actually gotten like so much use out of this one. I do feel like the quality is really nice. But I don't know, do I keep it? Do I not? I don't know. I have a lot of matte palettes that are just as good, if not better. So I don't know. I'll just put it in the maybe pile for now. Oh my gosh, everything's going in the maybe pile. Moving on, the Stila palette. I like the packaging. It's super cute. The shadows are decent, nothing like extraordinary. The shimmers are pretty nice. Should I keep it? I think I'm gonna keep it for a little bit longer and see if I can maybe get a little bit more use out of this one, and if not, then I'll give it away with my next decluttering video. These 3 Buxom palettes. This first one was a holiday special edition. I actually got it for Christmas of 2016. So I am not giving away this one just yet. I do like Buxom shadows for sure. The quality is definitely there. This one is a little bit different because it has like a split pan, and I really like these because these are the palettes that you can, hold on. These are the palettes that you can actually like custom make and like pull this little tray out and pull these individual shadows like out. And I really like that concept overall. This one has such cute packaging, and it was a gift for Christmas from someone. And so I am going to go ahead and keep this one. And I think I'm going to keep these next 2 ones too, just because I don't know. I really like the formula on these. This one is one of my favorite ones that I've created that I've actually had in my purse for quite some time, like on the go. I really like these to either travel with or just use because you can like switch out the shadows so you can customize it any way you want. And this one is all like scratched up and old because I've had this one for quite some time. These ones are really nice. I'm actually missing one. I don't know why. I thought I filled them both up, but maybe I lost one somewhere along the way. But I am going to keep these for a little while longer. Now, this next one I'm also going to keep just because it's the cutest. I don't know if you guys seen part 1 of my video of decluttering palettes, but I love little tiny miniature anything, especially makeup palettes. Like, they're so cute. And these actually are super good quality, so I'm definitely keeping this one. Okay, now I moved a few palettes closer, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through these. There's my Kat Von D little collection of palettes right here, so I'm probably gonna keep them all, honestly, just because they're really good quality. There's some of my favorite like packaging and quality. This is the Shade and Light palette, which I absolutely love, one of my favorite like matte neutral palettes. Next one is a newer edition as well. This is the Saints and Sinners palette by Kat Von D. I absolutely love her shadows. Like, I love her creativity. I love her packaging. I really like the quality. I just really like Kat Von D's like style of makeup and my shadow palettes and in general. Now, this is my favorite Shade and Light mini palette. Oh my gosh, if I can only open it. Oh, there we go. This is my favorite like trio, or not trio, there's more than 3, but you know, you get the point. This is one of my favorite like little mini palette of hers. I adore this shade especially because it's a pretty, such a creamy, really beautiful kind of just mauvey, not even mauvey, it's like a peachy, dusty peachy, I don't know what it is, but it is just so beautiful. I absolutely love this palette. It's kind of like another one of those like throw in your purse on the go palette. This one I just recently got for Christmas, this past Christmas. So just like a few weeks ago. I have not played around with too much yet. I haven't even, I think, used like the yellow tones in this palette yet. So I'm definitely gonna be playing around with this one a little more. And this is one that came out last Christmas, so not like Christmas of 2017, but like December of 2016, and I'm not even sure if it came out in December, but this is like the other metal matte palette, which I absolutely adore. The texture, the color scheme, just everything about it, the creative, like, you know, metal matte palette packaging. Absolutely love the shadows, and so definitely gonna stay with me. This last one is a Dose of Colors eyeshadow palette. I actually gave a lot of my Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes away. This one I am also going to give away, even though I wanted this palette for so long. I actually missed it the first time around, and then I went to, I think, Beautylish or another like website, and I bought it after it like relaunched. The quality on these shadows is great, but I am just not using this as much as I thought I would. I feel like there's like 3, 4, 5 mattes. This one is beautiful, don't get me wrong. So is this one. Sherbert's amazing. Berries and Cream is really nice too. This one is a very interesting kind of periwinkle, but like the yellow, the green, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not using this enough, so I am going to be decluttering this one for sure. Now this last little pile is actually my custom Z palette, so I'm probably gonna keep all of these. I might do a separate video of just like decluttering or, you know, actually depotting shadows and maybe kind of cleaning them up a little bit. But this is my tiny little hollow Z palette that I absolutely love. I just love Z palettes because you can use any, you know, shadows that you either really love and put them in there and use these, or you can actually, you know, use shadows and depot them after, like, you know, you have 2 remaining and like put them in a Z palette. And these are just great to travel with because you can interchange them. Okay, this next one is a ColourPop Z palette. I don't even have it filled. I do really enjoy ColourPop's pressed shadows. They're really nice, really affordable. So this one's definitely staying. This is an Inglot palette that's super different and super creative because it has little magnets on the corners. And I just put in a bunch of random shadows in here. Some from Inglot, some are, I think, NYX shadows. But Inglot definitely has amazing like shadow formula and amazing selection because they have so many. They have like hundreds of different like eyeshadow individual, you know, pans, and they are a brand that I really do enjoy from eyeshadows. And they have great liners. They have other like really interesting things too. And I think I'm gonna keep all of these. I might kind of go through them because some of these are like the unwanted, unused shadows that I kind of stuck in here. Like this one was from an old Naked palette that I had that I kind of used. I might actually get rid of this, but this is for another video, another time. These are some of my like contours, some highlights, some shadows I don't really even use. These are like my leftover shadows that I kind of didn't have enough space to use and put in like one of my favorite, all-time favorite palettes, and some of my like extra contour bronzing shades. And so these are all Makeup Geek. And so is this one. This is like my staple palette I take with me everywhere and I use on a daily basis. I love, some of these are like my absolute favorite shadows from Makeup Geek and ColourPop and Anastasia. So I love this palette, and so these two are definitely staying. And so the only thing left we have is this little maybe pile. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so this is the Makeup Revolution All Matte palette. Do I use it a lot? No. Do I like the pigmentation? Yes. And it's affordable, but I have so many other palettes, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. This one, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the packaging of it. The pigmentation on these isn't the best. I actually had the second Chloe Morello palette, but I actually already gave it away because I don't know. Ciata London makes amazing lip creams, but their shadows are not my favorite, so I'm going to declutter this one. This one, I don't know, it's so cute. Honestly, I think I'm gonna leave this one just for a little bit longer so I can play around with it just a little bit more. This is another matte shadow palette that's really affordable that I feel like, I don't know, someone else can really use, because I do have the Kat Von D light and shade and light palette that I really do use for mattes. So I would even say that this is a great dupe. I'm thinking if I should do like a dupe video. No, I think I'm gonna just declutter this one too. And then the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. Oh my gosh, this breaks my heart to get rid of a Kat Von D palette, but I am going to get rid of this one, especially because what I've noticed lately is that these type of like changing color shadows are, I think, in this palette as well. Like, if you guys can see, like right here on the top row, it has like the iridescent blue, green, pink, yellow, which are also kind of like different, like changing shades. I don't know. Like, look, let me see. Like, if I swatch this blue one and this blue one in this palette, like, they're different, or like a different hue, unless maybe this one. I don't know what to do with this one. Should I keep it? You know what? I think I'm gonna keep it for just a little bit longer. You know what? I think I might keep this one, and I think I'm gonna keep this one too, just because I haven't touched it, so I might just give it as a gift to someone. Alright, you guys, so we did it. We went through all these eyeshadow palettes. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for hanging out. Alright, my beauties, so I actually decided to add just a couple more palettes onto the declutter pile. And so this is the declutter pile that I am left with. I added the Alchemist palette from Kat Von D. I actually decided I'm not gonna get much use out of it. And I also decided to declutter this purple Tarte palette that had like the 4 different corners of different, you know, color schemes. I am not sure what I'm gonna do with it, so I'm gonna kind of go through it and maybe see if I can give a couple away. I am thinking of doing like a tiny little either giveaway or maybe like a little auction for you guys. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I am thinking of doing like a declutter of some of my other makeup, so if you guys are into these types of videos, let me know in the comments down below, just so I can maybe just record, because I do this either way, and so like why not, you know, record and share it with you guys. And so I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Lots of love from me to you. Stay happy, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next weekend in my next video. Lots of love. Bye. Mwah.